Well, I was going to pick mulberries today, but way in the back, the mosquitoes are horrible. I went to, grab a little bucket here to water some of the plants that we recently planted. Just sitting there for about 20 seconds while I fill this bucket halfway. There's like a dozen or more mosquitoes swarming around, so we're probably not going to sit there for 45 minutes on this big mulberry tree right now. That's an elderberry, but there's the big mulberry. And you can see it's probably hard to see, but there's like another quarter or half pound of black mulberries within, reach, at least with the ladder probably. So maybe we'll come by later and some of the mosquito activity might be down a little bit. Although we're not supposed to get any sun today. It's supposed to be cloudy with no rain. So that means I still have to water plants and rush through here. And looks like we got a few blackberries ready to pick too. So yeah, when we come back later, hopefully the mosquitoes aren't as bad, and I'll bring 2 bags, and one for blackberries and one for mulberries. See another one over here. We got some wild primrose here. I think that's evening primrose or something like that. Not 100% sure. We have a little bit of dandelions. This dandelions are a thing that I wish I could get thousands of dandelion plants, but when I put seeds out, they do not seem to come up where I plant them. They come up where they want to be planted, where they want to grow. And these are non-native, but they're not considered invasives. They're considered established. They're here to stay. They come up apparently in soil that needs their, whatever it is. So they come up where they're needed. But yeah, I need to figure out a good way to plant, 1,000 of these out so we can use them for teas and stuff. And look at this seedling pawpaw tree here, getting leaved out pretty good. But sometimes the dandelions come out in a place where you have to mow, have to keep up with your grass, and so there might be a few, and you're like, I don't really want to mow these guys down, but have to mow anyway, and so I would rather have them in a place where I could where I actually want to grow them. I've been thinking too about beauty berries. I have them growing here and there, propagating, I guess, through seeds and possibly suckers all over the property, including the wetlands on one. And I said, well, should I just put a bunch there, transplant a lot of them from here to there? This is where they naturally came up, though. This really heavily forested, shady area where they get, only the top sun and a little bit of sun from the east, and maybe a small amount of sun from the south, and all the north side is shade. I should say, and no sun from the south. But yeah, this is where they, naturally established all over the place here. There's other stuff here, camphor and wild grapes. As you can see, more beauty berries, more beauty berries, more beauty berries. More beauty berries. There's some about 8 foot tall there. Some more over there. So that's a question, and I'm going to probably go through this with multiple plants, trees, shrubs, with the wetlands permaculture project. Should I bring more in there and just make a whole row, 10 foot of them, 20 foot, whatever, or a circle, They're already here. We have probably enough to, there's even one over here. And I think there's a small seedling under the mayhaw tree. That's not a good place for it. We need to move it somewhere else. So that's an issue with a lot of plants. Should we move plants to the wetland project, just so we can maximize the edibles and the pollinators and medicinals, anything that would be happy over there, and just, you know, concentrate it, you know, full of plants that we already have growing elsewhere and they're happy. So yeah, that's kind of a question or a dilemma or whatever you want to call it. Right now we're gonna chop some of these extra elderberries growing here. Chop and drop. Use it for more breakdown, compost, mulch, or whatever. Green manure. So this isn't a perfect clear out, but what I did, as you can see, there's chopped everywhere. What I did is take the majority of the branches and limbs and, you know, suckers that weren't getting ready to flower out. So any of them that had flower heads on them, I kind of kept, and the rest of them, for the most part, I, you know, chopped out. There's like a bunchy area right there that I think I'm going to do a major cleanup after everything berries out. And I'm not sure where I'm going to put all this. I could put it in the wetlands zone or somewhere else, but it'll be kind of mulch and green manure or chop and drop or whatever, like I said. I got a big wagon full of elderberries and some goldenrods and stuff. I've thought long and hard where to drop this, and I'm gonna have a lot more to drop, you know, soon and later and all year round and years to come. So I think I'm just gonna, where I did the taro in the wetland zone 1, just cover it again, and we may even plant some more stuff soon in this area. Well, we will see. There we go. It's still, there's still some kind of bald area, so we're gonna have to do some more dropping in this area. But it's a good start. There's the taro, still looking good so far. Gave it a little water earlier. Just a quick look at the seedlings that we planted, hibiscus or whatever. And that's probably gonna be it. As far as I can tell, none of the papayas have sprouted yet. We'll see if some of these little things turn into papayas, but who knows? There's definitely a lot of different things in here. Like that may be different than that, blah, blah, blah. Might be weeds. Give it another week or two, and if nothing happens, we'll put some more papaya seeds in here and try again. All right, take care, guys.